Hey guys, Jake from Evolving Daily, and today we're going to do a quick unboxing and initial review of the Vortex Diamondback Tactical 4-12 by 40. So, I hate tabletops and unboxings and stuff like that. But this scope I bought for $241. Bought it just to put on a 22 and have a little fun with it and see what it would do. But, spoiler alert, I've already opened it. So, on the outside of the box, it gives you the tube. It's a 1-inch tube, about the smallest tube you'll find, I think. I think it's the smallest. Half-inch minute clicks, MOA clicks, so about a half an inch at 100 yards, which is a quarter of a minute, roughly. 12 minutes per rotation around the dial, 70 minutes total. It comes with a lens cleaning cloth, your books, and a microfiber towel. And it has the VMR-1 MOA reticle. I'll try to get a better picture here in a second, but so $240. It's an entry level, medium magnification, 4-12. Pretty much a standard is a 10 power or a 3-9, which a lot of hunting scopes are, but it's a little bit more than that. So inside the box, spoiler alert, I've already had it out. I've already shot it, so it's kind of a shitty unboxing. This just keeps the scope in the middle of the box so it doesn't get beat up as much. It was wrapped in plastic with the removable lens covers. Styrofoam on each side to keep it in place. So inside the box is scope. It's in your little Ziploc baggie with the kind of instruction manual and a book just on the reticle, which is nice, especially if you're a newer shooter or new to the tactical scope world. Their warranty, which I've heard good things mostly, and some little pin, I guess, to put on your fucking hat or something. So the scope itself. Alright, so the scope itself, I recommend, especially to new shooters or newer to the tactical, precision, long range, whatever you want to call it, a minute to minute scope, as in the reticle is in minutes and the turrets are in minutes, because everybody can figure out that at 100 yards 1 minute's 1 inch, 200 1 minute 2 inches, 300 1 minute 3 inches, and so forth. Mill rads to somebody who's new to it, or mills, can be a pain in the ass. Now this is a second focal plane scope, so the reticle is up here, which means when you dial magnification, it's not always true to minutes. It amplifies. So at max power, which is what's in the book, at max power, the reticle is supposed to be true. We'll go out and test that here in a second, but at max power, the minutes are true, and then if you dial it down, it's not. The reticle is busy enough, not busy enough, it's got enough markings to please the tactical, super high-speed operator types, but it's not so busy that you'll get lost in it, because some, like, you start looking into some of the crazier reticles, and to a new shooter especially, man, you can get lost in it pretty easy. So the turrets themselves, very positive, tactile as everybody calls it. On audible, I would say medium. Like, you can hear it, you're paying attention and you're expecting it. You can hear it even if you're not, but it's not a super loud, glass-breaking type of click as far as audible, but it's very positive. I mean, you're getting your dials, and as opposed to other scopes that I've had, especially in the $300 range, the turrets, feel-wise, and I've shot a little bit with a 22 on this. They seem to track pretty well. We're going to go out and run a box test and really see how repeatable the turrets are. So they're a return to zero style of turret, I believe. But basically the ins and outs of the turret, say you're sighting it in and you dial up about 12-ish or down about 12-ish. Then to put it back to zero, you just lift, get back to zero, and drop it. Same thing rights and lefts, and they're both marked as a rights, lefts. They have a little fiber optic rod, which is kind of nice. And in the daylight, that really pops. So you can just glance up, and obviously, yes, there's a big zero, but it also shows you with that. You can't dial parallax with this. It doesn't have a side adjust or front adjust parallax, but I've looked at it at 15 yards, pretty clear, and 400 yards, pretty clear. Fast focus eyepiece, guys, it's pretty well standard, but just in the little bit that I've played with it, it surprised me on how well it did and how well it felt and how well it looked. As far as in the tube, I could give a shit what it looks like on the outside. But we'll look in the book a little bit and just kind of show you. This is the book about telling you about your reticle. You've got 30 minutes down. I think, well, 4, 8, 12, 16, 18 to the sides. As far as like windage. Gives you your subtensions, which is what at max power, where the reticle is correct, this is the thicknesses and the distances between everything. So I could have looked here. 18 to on windage, 30 elevation, thickness of the actual crosshair, I think 0.15, yeah, 0.15. So to give you an idea of that, if you're looking at 100 yards, it's going to be 0.15 of an inch roughly at max power. If you're looking at 1,000 yards, it's going to be 1.5 inches. So it's not a fine hair, but it's you can definitely work with it. Gives you a little information on how to range with this reticle, how to shoot with wind, which is something you got to do. The other book. It's just the nuts and bolts of it. You know, this is the tube, this is the turret, all that stuff. There's a little bit of information in here, especially for a newer guy, that would be helpful. But minute, good. Turrets feel good. The glass did better than I thought it would, especially for not having parallax. It surprised me how well it did. We are now going to put it on my 223 bolt gun and we'll go out and do a little box test. We'll, like a 5-shot group, then we'll dial, probably not in focus, but we'll do like a 5-shot group here on a bullseye. We'll dial up, if we can, depending on where we sight in at, we'll dial up to 30 minutes, then we'll dial over 30 minutes, then we'll dial down 30 minutes, and we'll dial over 30 minutes, and we'll actually put those two groups separate from each other, but we'll see if it comes back to zero after all the dialing, and we'll see if it's true when we dial up. We'll see if the minute reticle is true at max mag, and I'll try to get some pictures through the scope. I don't know how all the super fancy YouTubers do it. I'll try to get some pictures through the scope because it is, for $250, well, $240, it surprised me on its clarity. Alright, so that's it for the tabletop-ish part. I don't know if we'll split this into 1 or 2 videos, but if we split into 2 videos, come back and we'll do all the testing and see if it actually holds up. And we'll do that on 223, the box test, a little bit of shoe sting there, and then I'll put it on 7mm, and we'll see if it, see how shockproof it is we'll take the brake off and see if that rattles the insides. But guys, stay tuned. We'll take a look at it and see if it actually holds up.